I know how challenging it can be if you are moving into a different state because you got a job or you're moving closer to your family and you just don't know what to expect. How much is it going to cost you to live there? What is the cost of childcare? So today I want to share with you some tips and tricks that I have found helpful that hopefully will help you because you are thinking about moving to New Jersey, or you already settled here, but you're just not sure if you're in the right place. So today I'm sharing with you the cost of living in North Jersey. And if you're interested in heading to South Jersey, then stay tuned because we have that video coming up as well. So when we talk about the cost of living pretty much anywhere, there's a couple of things that we always think about. So the biggest one is going to be your housing. Whether you are thinking about buying a home or you're going to be renting, then it's going to be your cost of food, cost of childcare, cost of your transportation, utilities, and other things like that. So it's quite a big chunk. So here are some tools that I suggest you kind of use to give yourself some more ammunition for you, so that way you can make the best decision for you and your family in the direction that you may want to be heading. So number one, of course, we always start with research, but where are we going to get the up-to-date and important information? So I have a couple of resources for you. So number one, let's say that you are living in Mercer County, or you're thinking about moving to Mercer County. Number one, my recommendation to you is find a local or a couple of local Facebook groups. Most of the towns in our state are going to have one. One is going to be called maybe What's Up Princeton or What's Happening in Hamilton. So find a couple of them and definitely join them, because most of the time it's going to be locals that are hanging in there, and you can ask them very specific or general questions that are important to you. For example, I am thinking about moving to Mercer County and I'm just exploring my options, and I would love to hear your opinion on how the school districts are. Which one do you think is better than others? And then you will probably get a lot of honest answers. So that's resource number one. Resource number two is also Nextdoor, where it's the neighborhood group that is kind of in its own little world, and you can join them depending on where you live. And it's a little bit more challenging because you have to sign up and subscribe, and then they send you a postcard, yet we still found it as another resource that is also helpful. Resource number three is Reddit, Reddit. It's a bunch of chat boards that are done by locals. So my suggestion to you is research and do a search for New Jersey, and then you can even search for a county. You can say New Jersey, Somerset County, or you can say New Jersey best school districts, and then you'll be able to find threads of discussions that are done by locals that are going to talk about different topics, and that way you can at least get started with your search that way. And a lot of times when I'm doing some research, or I have clients that ask me certain questions and I'm just not able to find information that was put together by the research resources by the state, as an example, a lot of times I will turn to the locals and just get some general opinion. You may even want to do a poll because all these resources and options that are available to you. If you're looking for information on how much the utilities are going to cost you, just keep a couple of things in mind. Depending on where you're going to be living in New Jersey, you're going to have electricity, you're going to have natural gas, you may have heating oil as your fuel source, or you may also have an option of having your own private septic system where it is your own sewer system and not public. And then you may also have your own well water where you're not relying on the municipality. So depending on where you are and where you want to be, you may have some of these considerations. One of the best advices that I have provided to my clients is that if you are kind of considering a couple of different options and different areas, call the utility company for that area and ask them. You can even give them a sample address and ask them, can you give me an idea what the average utility costs are for 123 Main Street in the summer and into winter? So that way you have an idea how much it's going to cost to keep this house, depending on the square footage and how big it is and how many levels it's going to have, and how much money it's going to cost for you to cool that house in the summertime. Another great way to get more information is to contact the utilities department in the town that you may be interested in. You can always give them a call and get the information on the phone number on the municipal website, and just ask them, like, I'm just curious, can you give me some suggestions? What do you know? What have you heard? Maybe you live in the town township yourself. What can you tell me? If I was to move into your town, what do I need to know about the cost of living? And you'll be surprised. A lot of the time, those municipal workers are very helpful, and they will try either provide you with the information, or they can point you in the right direction, maybe give you some phone numbers of some other departments or the public utility company, so that way you can reach out to them directly for that information. So I did some research on Reddit before I started recording this video, and here's what some of the information that was kind of put together, depending on, if you really want to be specific and say, hey, I am going to be renting an apartment, how much is going to be my electric bill, right? Because a lot of the times, probably most of the times actually, when you're in the apartment, your majority of your utilities is going to be your electric bill. Here's a hypothetical scenario in Passaic County, right? You might be paying $60 for your internet. Your electric and gas company is going to be PSC&G, and your bill would be $60. Or you might be paying $70 for electric and $150 for a combo of internet, phone, and TV, depending on what you're looking for. That could be for either a apartment or a smaller condo where you might have 1 or 2 bedrooms. If you're looking for some information on a larger home where it's a single family, you might be paying $320 for gas and electric. In the summertime, it's going to be a little bit less, about $130. In the wintertime, it's about $200. And then you also have cable, and plus you're also going to have your water bill. And some places bill you monthly, some places are going to bill you quarterly. Another example is Mercer County, right? If we take that, if you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, you might be paying $12 for gas, $65 for electric, and that's on a monthly basis. If you are looking at a single family home, you could be paying $40 for sewer and water. You can be paying an additional $150 in the winter time for, gas, and then another $150 for electric. So it depends on the size, and yes, it does make a difference which county you're in, and what town you're going to be in, and whether it's just going to be electric, whether you're also going to have gas, or if you have another type of fuel. So for North Jersey, I'm counting about 13 counties that would fit in our category, which is taking all the counties that are above Route 195, kind of like the waist of our state. And if you look at the general map, at the monthly cost, if we were to combine everything, your housing, your childcare, your utilities, your food, and all of those things, based on some of the research that I have done, you are looking at kind of like an average between $8,200 and $9,500 per month. Even though I think that number is now going to be a little bit higher, because the real estate market has really left the roller coaster that we've seen in the last couple of years. You're probably going to have those numbers go a little bit higher because real estate market has appreciated in the last couple of years. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you wanted to look at a more specific example, so let's take Morris County as an example here. The cost of living for a 2-parent, 2-child family in Morris County is about $116,000 per year. And again, housing is going to be higher than $2,000 a month for sure. Your food bill is about $1,000. Child care is about $1,900. Transportation, that also depends whether you're going to be driving and just paying for your fuel, or you're going to be commuting by train. It makes a difference. Healthcare, $1,200 a month. And then you also have some other necessities. And also keep in mind that your monthly housing expense is also going to be greatly affected by your property taxes. New Jersey, as you know, is famous for being in the top 10 highest property taxes in the nation. And as an example, for Morris County, the median home sale price is $550,000, and median property taxes are about $11,000 a year. So that's about what, $1,000 a month just for property taxes that's going to be added to your housing expense. So just keep that in mind. So a couple of things that I want to mention to you for you to keep in mind for the whole state of New Jersey. Our sales tax is 6.625, and income brackets do vary depending on your income, and they can be anywhere between 5 and 9%, which is on the higher side when you're comparing them to some of the other states in the country. In terms of retirement, it's going to cost you about $70,000 to live here and be okay if you are retired and you don't have any other active income coming in. Median home price for the whole state is about $418,000. $60,000. But overall salaries also tend to be higher because we are close to two major metropolitan areas that have plenty of jobs and opportunities. We have New York City in the north, and then we also have Philly in the south part of the state. The average effective property tax rate, as I kind of wanted to go back to that if you wanted to do some calculations, is about 2.26%, which is compared with a national average of 0.99%. Well, that's where you can see how it's really going to make a difference for you. So an average property tax bill in the state of New Jersey right now is about $8,700. So if you want to use that as your basis point when you're doing your research, that is also a good idea to do. So what do we get from kind of talking about affordability and being able to find something and kind of figure things out on what the cost of living is going to be? I think it doesn't matter where you want to end up, but research is definitely going to be time consuming. And this is where I'm a big proponent of you partnering with a great real estate agent who is connected to the real estate in the area as well as to the community, and he or she knows this information inside and out, and if they don't, then they know who to talk to get that information. So I encourage you to partner and to discuss this information with a great agent, because if you are using an agent to, let's say, purchase a home in New Jersey, the cost is not on you. You don't pay for hiring and retaining and using an agent to help you buy a home. It actually is paid by the listing side and by the seller. I hope that you found this information helpful, and it definitely varies even in North Jersey depending which county you're in, right? Some of the counties are going to be less expensive, like Warren County, but the closer you get to New York City, the more expensive your cost of living is going to be, especially when it comes down to your housing. So if you found this information helpful, and definitely subscribe so that way you don't miss out on the next video that's coming out, where we will be talking about the cost of living in South Jersey. And of course, if you have any questions about a particular school district or in neighborhood or anything else that is important for you to get more information, more research, please reach out to us. We're here to help you as your real estate and community resource of choice. So thanks so much for watching, and then we'll see you soon.